A pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm John Paul Della Camera. Alongside me is Ty Keogh. For both teams, it's an important game, but really, it's more of a must-win game, Ty, for San Diego and Ron Newman.
This one is about as real as they come. There's no doubt about it. And with San Diego heading for Dallas for the next two, if they would not be able to come up with a victory in this one, it would make it really tough on them.
It's been a very competitive series and a very physical series as well. Both coaches know that. We talked with both coaches before the start of tonight's game and got their feelings.
Well, tonight's game is very important for us. It's not as important as the second game because that was our second home game. We had to win that just to make it a good effort for the final series. But we must be able to make very few mistakes this game. It's a game where the little things are going to count, and if we make the fewest mistakes, I think we'll definitely come out on top.
Well, I expect the game to be very intense. I don't think either team are going to want to make mistakes and try not to make mistakes, and the team that will win, I think, will be the team that can cash in on either team's mistakes. Certainly from our point of view, it's very important for us because we don't want to go back to Dallas having to win both games in Dallas. It's very difficult.
If you're thinking about offense and you're thinking about Dallas, you've got to be thinking about Tattoo. He scored 113 points during the regular season. 64 of them were goals. He had a long drought against San Diego, over 280 minutes without scoring a goal. But then in the last couple of games, he's come to life. 2 goals in Game 3 and 1 in Game 4. But when you think about offense on the other side for San Diego, their great name for the last several years has been Branko Segota, but he's not clicking.
And he's normally a big-time playoff performer. Branko Segota is not having a good playoff this year. 94 career goals, that's just in 74 games. So normally he's averaging over a goal a game in the playoffs.
Well, San Diego keeps hoping that tonight will be the night for Branko Segota. We'll see when we come back. We'll have the kickoff up next from San Diego. This is Game 5, and the series is even at 2 wins apiece. To San Diego for game number 5 in the best-of-7 series. It's even between Dallas and San Diego. And tonight's game is being brought to you by Nestle Crunch. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why you love Nestle Crunch. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. It is San Diego and Dallas, and there in the huddle, number 24 is Joe Papaleo. He gets the starting assignment. He was a winner in game number 3, a solid 2.07 goals against average, won 1 game and lost 1. He was the loser in game number 1. He put on a great goalkeeper's clinic in game number 3, and so did Papaleo's counterpart in that particular game as well for San Diego, and that was Victor Nogueira. Nogueira still talking right in front of the San Diego bench. He put on a great show as well, really. It was tough to fault either goalkeeper, and it was a shame that one had to lose, but in the end, it was Nogueira who ended up as the losing goalkeeper in that one. We got a late scratch, and we're going to talk about this during the game. Branko Segota, who was out there for the lineup. There's a look at Victor Nogueira. We'll get to Branko in a moment. That's a solid average as well. He was the MVP in last year's playoff series overall. When Toth was injured, he played in every game and played well. Nothing like home, at least during the regular season. San Diego never lost here, but in the playoffs, they could have lost more than the 1 game that they lost the other night. They could have lost that second game here as well, and in Dallas, Dallas is stronger. Back to Segota, they are talking about a left hip injury, which was a mysterious injury. No one seemed to know anything about it until game time. He was out there, though, for the warm-up. Those are your officials who called tonight's action, with Gino DiPolito and Essie Baharmist on the floor. Game 5 is underway. Lawson was back there with Jaramillo going for it. It's cleared out of play.
Immediately trying to exploit Doc Lawson's speed coming forward from the back on the quick play forward.
Kevin Smith will put it in play. No one of the Sidekicks has played in more games than Kevin Smith, 317 counting playoff action. Lawson and Smith over near the ball. Wes Wade defending. Opening seconds of play from San Diego. Nogueira clears it out, but it's coming back through. Quinn with a block. There's Wes Wade. Wade having some trouble in the neutral zone, deflected to Tattoo. Tattoo on the cut. Fernandez with him. The dish to Lawson. The shot is out of control and way up into the crowd.
Well, we'll see who takes the early upper hand in terms of aggressiveness and physical play. Looks right now that Dallas, they started off with the kickoff, immediately going forward and trying to make chances already with Lawson and Tattoo threatening already.
No reason for the arms to flail that high.
That's one way to intimidate him. You see the high arm coming in by Fernandez. I saw Tattoo before the game. He's already got a couple of scrapes on the top of his nose. He said that Quinn gave him the other night.
In the corner, Nogueira, Tattoo in there fighting, along with Ralph Black, and Black will clear it out. Here's a chance for the Sockers. It's Quinn. Blocked again by Troy Snyder. Kevin Smith looking for Tattoo. Nogueira getting in there. Tattoo getting a bump from Ralph Black and holding him as Black. He lays it off toward Milano, broken up. 3-on-1, Sockers. Hermes. Cuts it to Quinn. To Wade. It's behind him. He scores!
Juan Hermes coming forward. He's got two options. He slides the ball through over to Quinn. Quinn immediately plays it to the opposite side to Wade, but it's behind him. But there's some resourceful work here by Wade. Even though he's on the ground, he spins around and still lifts it past Joe Papaleo.
The first goal of the game is a great one. San Diego leads. For soccer in the North American Soccer League. Down to 140. First quarter. 1-0 San Diego. Up for Paul Wright. He let it go. He thought Quinn was going to take it. They misread each other. Kevin Smith. Long ball for Lawson. Fernandez in there battling all the way. Lawson owns a black belt in karate, so you don't want to mess with him. Here's Kevin Smith. Back for Lawson. He's double teamed and then got bumped by Quinn. On the touch from Hermes. Quinn may have a breakaway. The speed of Carpenter catches him a save. Papaleo, another right to right scores.
At the last second, Carpenter's there. The save by Papaleo. We have a look at it from the other angle. Straight down the field comes Brian Quinn. He cuts across. His shot is good enough to give a rebound. Wright is there. There's a handball. It goes in anyway on the rebound here. Gino DiPolito signals a goal. He does have the blue card out, though, against Mark Carpenter as a warning for that handball. So the advantage was played.
I saw Carpenter block it at the line. I didn't see the hand go up. You could see it clearly there. So it was going to count anyway. Paul Wright scores the goal. His fourth playoff goal. He's had a 2-goal game in this series in Game 1 and a 2-assist game in Game 4. So he's done the job. Milano. Sidekicks trail 2-0. Coming back the other way. Ralph Black. Dallas, remember, trailed 2-0 in Game 4 here. So it's not over yet, but the Sockers are looking good. Foul is going to be called for pushing on Snyder. A look at Troy Snyder, who's got speed to burn with Dallas. Late pass, Guevara. Did well to receive that one. 30 seconds left in the quarter. It's been a good one for San Diego. Black trying to make it a better one. Blocked by Snyder. Tattoo getting it back. Here's a chance. Sidekicks. 2-on-2. Now 2-on-3. Milano. Cutting. Still looking. One cut too many. Pancho breaks it up. Milano back to West McLeod. They find Tattoo. Outside to Lawson. 4 seconds. Lawson tees it up. Nogueira got that, and he almost got Beto's foot as well as the first quarter comes to an end. They are on their feet in San Diego. Goals by Wade and Wright, and Nogueira and company have a 2-0 lead in game number 5. So far, the Sockers have been unable to dent Nogueira.
Tattoo there, that's the man you want to see here, but Nogueira slides across and makes a save at the near post.
Billy Phillips, in his first full year as the head coach of the Sidekicks, we said this the other night he should be the MISL's Coach of the Year. Not to take away from solid jobs done by other people, but some people picked his team for 4th place. They thought Ron Newman's team would win it, but they always think that, and that's because they do always win it, or so it seems. But Ron Newman has won more games than any other coach in the history of North American soccer, and he's won them outdoors and indoors. He's been Coach of the Year in every league you can name, and even some that you can't name. San Diego puts it back in play. Nogueira ready to start things up for the Sockers. Salgado looking as it goes back the other way. Teams are at full and equal strength after going 4-on-4 for a while. Then Dallas had a power play for less than a minute. Could not score their best chance. We showed you on the tattoo shot. Sockers lead it by a pair. Crow's header goes instead to Milano. Here's Willie, a flashy player for Dallas. Milano picked up by Rod Castro, helped by Jaramita. Salgado draws a Pacho foul. Goes Gino DiPolito. Played out to Wes McLeod. Now it's Lawson again. Lawson trying to beat Castro. Couple of fakes. Castro doesn't buy them. Kicked away to Brian Quinn. Lead pass the other way. Quinn with a pair of assists here. He had 4 in the game against St. Louis in their last playoff game. Coming back the other way. Salgado. And now he'll pull it back because he's going off. He did some running for Tattoo, who will come on. So will Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith will go down the left wing as Tattoo waits in midfield. Lawson coming through. Stopped on a hard shot by Nogueira. And Tattoo is playing as a defender now because players got caught upfield. Lawson wins it. Back for Tattoo. And Lawson got a piece of Wes Wade, or so it appeared. Coming back is Quinn. And Wade will turn it around the other way. Here's Quinn over the line. On the cut. Stopped by Papaleo. Right side to Kevin Smith. San Diego really trying to turn it up a notch here now. Snyder up for Carpet. Right back down to McLeod. Lead pass, they look for Kevin Smith. Smith in the corner trying to play it up for Tattoo. Hermes got in there. Here's Pacho. Sockers running hard. Tattoo with a good recovery run back. Pacho leads it though. Another half a step, and Guevara has that one. That was close. It's a great play by Cacho from those far boards. Because he's out racing Tattoo initially, and then putting a pass all the way to the opposite side. It just failed to click. Even a bigger shoe size in the part of Guevara, and that's a goal as Tattoo feeds it off to Snyder. 2:46 to play. Second quarter. Sockers are leading at 2-0. You notice how far Tattoo has been dropping back now to try and maybe get a better chance and also open up space for some others. He doesn't have to always play up for Dallas. But it doesn't help when they lose the ball like that. Right, knocking it back now to Fernandez for Guevara. San Diego, by Dallas's account, was the better team in Game 4. And I would have to think by everyone's account they're the better team tonight in the first half, up to this point. Here's Black, coming through against Carpet. Block. Carpet very physical there. Look at the shots. It's close. And in fact, Dallas has the edge, but it's a bit misleading. Coming back is Powers. And we've got a penalty. Let's see. Too many men? 2, 4, 5. There's 5 out there now, but apparently Essie Maharmis may have detected too many. It's 5 on 5 now. It's 5 on 5 right now. We'll see how they sort it out. We've seen that called a lot this year in the MISL. Normally it's the alternate official's call. It may be an inadvertent whistle. Let's wait and see. First, the penalty box door open up on the Dallas side. I believe it's an inadvertent whistle, no call. Yeah, that's what it looks like. If we can read the sign language, no call. How would you like to be a referee? Wes McLeod will put it in play. You youngsters watching, don't try that inadvertent whistle trick at home. McLeod will play it in for Tattoo. Takes a bump from Collins, and a foul is going to be called on Collins. That'll get the crowd a little more feisty. Tattoo will be putting it in play from right near the corner kick spot. Here's a good opportunity, though, for Dallas with less than 2 minutes to go. First half, he went right on goal, and Nogueira with a foot save. Lawson took a bump from right, and then Lawson spun away. Looking left, but Carpenter was breaking middle. Ralph Black on it. Getting it back. Giving it up to Guevara. That's a lot of room for Guevara, or for anyone for that matter. Here's Guevara trying to use it across to right. Didn't get a good kick on it. Tried a second time. Dallas a little lax that time in their marking. Lead pass. Ralph Black will cut it off, but he gave it up to Tattoo. A toe poke to Milano. Give and go. They walk through, and he's tripped up by Jaramillo. Tattoo was taken down. Lawson in late. That should have been 2. But it's not. And maybe it's because they didn't call it on Tattoo the other way, but that's 2 in my book.
That's got to be 2. Have a look at the first one here. Tattoo and Milano combining very well on the give and go. Tattoo thinks he's all the way through, but here comes Jaramillo. He gets a foot in there and does take the ball, and then Tattoo goes over his leg, so that's a pretty close one there. This next one is nowhere near close because Fernandez gets to the ball first. Lawson has gone airborne, going only for man. He's not even looking at the ball.
Well, no one feels worse about that than George Fernandez. 2-0, San Diego. George Fernandez, he was the All-Star Game MVP, an unsung hero a couple of years ago. Now he's really one of the key players and one of the very finest, I think, defensive defenders in the MISL.
He had his first shorthanded goal of his career in the last game of this series.
4 seconds still left on that Dallas power play when he scored it to make it 2-0. Lawson will be booed every time he touches the ball. You can count on that. Up the middle for Crow, had to look back for it. Well, Lawson maybe trying to inspire his teammates, but that was too physical a play and should have been 2 minutes. We saw it live and we saw it in the replay. It should have been 2. Here's Lawson now at midfield. He can block that crowd out, though. He's played long enough to do that. Tattoo against Crow. In the corner, Tattoo getting free. In traffic, Kevin Smith put it upstairs. Tattoo a little bit frustrated at that because he does all that work and then lays it off, and then it goes upstairs. He had to get by 3 players to get in that position. So far, things not happening for Dallas, and Nogueira's happy about that. Nogueira's made his better saves, though, when he's had that 2-0 lead. He wasn't really tested, I didn't think, in the early going.
Not nearly as much as Joe Papaleo. Papaleo was getting frustrated at his own players, letting so many shots come through.
Well, Nogueira knows he's got another 13 seconds preventing him from going in with a 2-0 lead at the half, and that's what they want. They want that lead going in at the half. They were unable to get that the other night, even though at one point they had a 2-0 lead. Nogueira will just put it upstairs. Time will run out as Wade and Powers are physical at that red line, but it went over 3 off of the goalkeeper. He's the only guy that can clear it over 3 lines and be called for it. A field player can do it, no problem. With only 1 second left here, Dallas doesn't like what the clock says. That's 1 second in the first half. Billy Phillips will have to say some magic words in the locker room for the second half as Dallas smartly goes to the 6th attacker. They're not going to get burned here. With Kevin Smith normally donning that 6th attacker jersey, he will go on. The thinking being that obviously with only a second left, there's no way that San Diego could intercept it and clear it the length of the field for a goal. There's Kevin Smith, just 26 years old.
Almost no way they could score on it.
Ferretti took it in. That's one of the longest seconds I've seen. I don't know if that clock went off.
Well, what I was about to say, there's almost no way to score except on the first kick.
Right. That's why I think that the clock didn't start right away. That first shot would have been, that's all the time I think that they would have had for that. But as it turns out, it was a pass and then a shot. Wade and Wright are the goal scorers, and San Diego is shutting out Dallas in Game 5. At halftime, with San Diego leading over Dallas scoring-wise tonight, Wes Wade scored at 9:28 of the first quarter. He was assisted by Brian Quinn, and you're going to see Quinn's name again because he assisted on the second goal scored by Paul Wright at 13:57, or a minute and 3 before the end of that quarter. There was no scoring at all in the second quarter, and that's where we stand right now. That 2-0 lead that San Diego has now, they had it in game number 4. They were unable to hold on to it, but then after it was tied up at 2, they were able to score the next couple of goals. A reminder to join us for our next playoff telecast. Baltimore, by virtue of beating Kansas City in their series, will take on the winner of Dallas versus San Diego, and that game is coming up on June 9th. We ask you to check your local listings for exact times. So the Dallas Sidekicks trail 2-0. Billy Phillips knows that it's never tough or never easy to win on the road, especially here in San Diego. He also knows that he's got the next 2 games in Dallas, and really tied this series is almost like it was last year. If you recall, Ron Newman sure does. His team trailed 3-2 when the series home field advantage was in San Diego. They won their last 2 in San Diego, and the last one by a 1-0 score. And in this case, if San Diego, if they hold on and win, they'd be up 3-2, but Dallas would have a chance by winning the last 2 to go on. But it's easier said than done. Good luck, San Diego. And there's still at least 30 minutes to go in this one. Dolly is out for an infrequent turn, along with Tattoo, Mike Powers, Doc Lawson, and Kevin Smith. It's Guevara. George Fernandez is back, along with Ben Collins, Ralph Black, and Wes Wade. And the second half is underway from San Diego.
It's a run by Powers. And then on a ball that most guys would give up on, look how high he gets his entire body, including his leg. Just tremendous acrobatics and effort by Wad Hermes.
Regular season, you may not see it happen. That's a good point. Playoffs, it's all or nothing, and there's Hermes. He's really gutting it out. 6 goals in 8 playoff games. His goal the other night is 8th game winner. He's number 1 on this team. When I talked to him this morning, he wasn't even aware of that. I said, Waddy, you got to read the game notes. And his name is ahead of Julie V's, Bronco Segodas, Steve Jungles, Gene Wilrich. That's great company.
He's got the most all-time playoff game-winning goals of ever for San Diego Soccer with 8.
And you remember him, right? When you were playing for San Diego, and he was what you'd call like an apprentice back then,
about
right?
17 years old on the reserve team.
Come a long way. Here's Milano on the toe to Beto. Beto right through. Black didn't give it enough as he tried to deaden it. But here comes Ralph Black. Started indoors with the Denver Avalanche. Had some great years with Tacoma. In fact, he was one of the more popular players on the Tacoma Stars team. Lost through free agency, and he ended up in San Diego. Ralph Black with it now. Started in this league, too, as a teenager. And on that pass, we've got a foul. Milano apparently fouled Ralph Black. But he'll help him up. Ralph Black in his 9th year, still only 26 years old. When guys start in this league as a teenager, they're playing almost a decade in this league, Ty, and they're still in their mid to late 20s. I don't know. From my angle, I see him just drop. Here's Lawson. Across the way, it was just tipped once. Milano. Noguera took it right off Tattoo's foot, it looked like. A lot of space here. Wade trying to bring it inside, and McLeod with a block. Here comes Kevin Smith. 6 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Milano wanting to tee it up, but Hermes blocks him. Hermes in the corner. Time will run out in the 3rd as Milano bumps Hermes at the horn. San Diego has 1 more quarter to go, and Apaleo looks a little bit frustrated. Not so much at the fact that San Diego is coming at him, but probably at the fact that his team has been unable to score goals. We've not had a goal since 13:57 of the 1st quarter. Paul Wright and Wes Wade are the only goal scorers up tonight.
Through Woodbury coming from behind, does use his arm on him and then bumps him again. And Cacho, as soon as he feels that touch on his arm, sends his body flying down to the turf.
There's a look at Bronco Segota sitting this one out with what was said was a hip problem. The question becomes, if San Diego wins this game, do they bring him to Dallas or do they play him? Do they bring him and not play him? Big question mark if they win this game. Likewise, should Dallas lose, they've got Richard Chinapoo and Steve Kinsey maybe not quite ready to come back, but a tough call for Billy Phillips. Here's Ralph Black dumping it into the corner. Around the boards, Carpet trying to get it free. Black will get it to Quinn. Carpet still working hard, barreling through. Now to Tattoo. Wade gave him a bump. Kevin Smith off the board. And as he and Black get in there, no one's going against Kevin Smith. If you talk to both coaches, they're complaining about the same thing. They're telling the officials, watch out for the upper body contact, but both teams are doing it. Black Right back to Nogueira with maybe too much speed. More than Victor would have liked. Here comes Wright. It may turn out okay. Or all right. Knocked away now by Powers. Back for Quinn with 9:34 to go. San Diego with a 2-0 lead, but they're not going into a shell here. Usually when teams do that, they get burnt. Black broken up. McLeod. And a takeover for Kevin Smith. He and Quinn get there almost at the same time. In the corner, Nogueira will let Hermes make the play back to him. Smart move by Nogueira. Here comes Hermes. Leading it for Quinn. Off the post. Rebound. Hermes scores!
What makes things happen, the aggressive run by Quinn out of midfield. Hermes finds him and just misses, gets us a part of the post, and then it comes out, and Juan Hermes, who normally likes that left foot, just buries the shot with his right.
That's a big goal. It gets the crowd back in. That one might be too much for Dallas, although you never count Dallas out. That's a big one. The crowd is back into the game. Hermes from Quinn at 5:56. Quinn has 3 assists now. When he had 4 assists against St. Louis, Hermes had the hat trick. You don't see many Hermes goals off the right foot. In fact, we tease him a lot about it, but he made no mistake about that. He buried it. No. Almost didn't see Quinn, it looked like. Milano. Look at how many minutes, too, of Brian Quinn gets for San Diego. Here's Ferretti's shot, and there's Nogueira. That was a tester from a tough angle. Throw, flicks it on. Brian Quinn, he's going for goal! He's got it! Brian Quinn with a goal and 3 assists. It's the Brian Quinn show in San Diego. We'll continue it when we come back.
Who's been the backbone of this San Diego team come playoff time. Kevin Crowe gets a piece of the ball, comes out to Quinn, and Quinn doesn't hesitate at all. He doesn't just loft this ball in there. He hit a line drive. It goes in on the second bounce and into the empty net as Dallas had gone to the 6th attacker.
Back on the live game action. This one goes out of play, and it is San Diego's ball. Brian Quinn with a magnificent night. There's his scoring summary. A goal and 4 assists, and he's now past Dale Mitchell as the leading scorer in the MISL playoffs. And everyone has told you before, no matter what, you name all the great names here, but when Brian Quinn is on, that's when San Diego is on. It is Carpet. Ferretti. Coming down with Quinn on it. In the corner, right across. Carpet is blocked by Nogueira. Oh, Nogueira wants to shut out now. Tattoo. Shut out's over. They waved it off. Waved off the goal. I believe a whistle may have sounded before it, and it probably dangerous play. I didn't hear a whistle, but it probably
You'll see on the replay here as Ferretti takes a shot off the boards. And the ball is loose. Carpet takes an extra couple swipes at it, and you'll see him kick his leg up high. There it is. There's the second foul against Carpet. So the whistle had already blown before Tattoo put the ball in the net.
We just didn't hear it, but I'm sure it did blow.
Well, Carpet was just kicking wildly.
Yeah. It was an obvious, dangerous play. Here's Tattoo. Right across to Milano. 14 seconds left. To Lawson. Here's Doctor looking. With Quinn on him. The Tattoo in the box. Gives it to Ferretti. Too high. Milano. 1 second. San Diego wins to the shutout in Game 5. A happy group of San Diego Sockers, and they should be, because San Diego has taken a 3-2 lead in this best-of-7 series. The next two going on to Dallas. Victor Nogueira now has 6 career shutouts, including 2 in playoff competition. But there's one of the heroes of the night, Brian Quinn. 1 goal and 3 assists for Quinn. It was a magnificent performance for Quinn, as well as the San Diego Sockers. Dallas dejected as they leave. It was all San Diego tonight. On Quinn's performance, Hermes, and a host of others, including Nogueira, San Diego back in their driver's seat. In the driver's seat.